In this video, we will show you how to replace your driver's door window regulator on this Nissan Altima. This will be located behind your front door panel. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. The first thing we're going to want to do is gain access to the window switch area. To gain access to that, we will be removing this trim panel that comes across right along here. It's going to be very simple. Using a trim tool, we'll come right inside this area and gently press down and then pry this apart. We'll start pulling this away. A quick inspection and we can set that aside. Now we can start removing the window switch and the trim panel around it. Continuing with our trim tool, we'll carefully press in on this locking tab and gently pry it up. Now I'll make my way along the forward side here, pry that up as well. Let's have a look at the back side. We're going to remove the wiring harnesses. To remove the wiring harnesses, for this one right here, there's a small locking tab along this side, and for the larger one, it's on the opposite side. We'll just gently squeeze those in and separate the wiring. A quick inspection for corrosion. That one looks fine. This one's right in the center here. That one looks good as well. Now that we have that out of the way, you'll find that you have a 10mm headed mounting bolt right behind this area. You can either use a 10mm or even a Phillips head. Remove and inspect that hardware. Now we can move up behind this door handle area. You'll find that you have a small trap door. Use a small pocket screwdriver, get right inside this slot, and gently pop this out of place. A quick inspection of that, and we can set that aside. Behind it, you'll find that you have another 10mm headed bolt. This one's considerably smaller than the other. Just keep note of that. Our third bolt is located right behind this area. Now we can start removing the door panel from the door itself. We'll use our trim tool, carefully get in between the panel and the door, and gently pry it to separate it. You'll find that you have several locking tabs that make their way all the way around the bottom and sides of the door panel. I'll reach my fingers in here, being careful for any pinch points. Give it a little tug. Now we can start lifting this up and off of here. You're going to want to pay attention along this forward corner, kind of close to where the mirror is. Just kind of come in at an angle and slide it out and away. Behind this, you'll find that you have a couple cables and some wiring. Now we can start removing our cables. To remove the cable, take hold of it, give it a little tug, we'll slide it out of this slot right here. Now once you've done that, we'll continue on towards this area at the end. For this one in particular, it will slide straight up and out. A quick inspection of each one of the cables as you remove it, and you can set them aside. Once you have the cables out of there, we'll also continue on to the mirror wiring. Grab onto the locking tab, give it a squeeze, and lift it off of there. Quick inspection for corrosion, and set your door panel aside. Now it's time to peel back the vapor barrier. We'll take hold of this and start pulling it away from the door. We are going to be reusing it, so be careful not to tear it. A quick note, this around here is called butyl tape. It's extremely sticky, and it will damage your clothing if you get it on it. Be extremely careful. Get this out of here. We don't have to fully remove this, we'll just pull it out of the way so we can gain access to the window regulator. At this point, we'll continue on to the two 10mm headed mounting bolts that hold the window to the window regulator. Down along the bottom area, you'll find that you have one bolt here, out in the open, and the second one should be accessible through this hole right here. If for some reason yours is not accessible through here, go ahead and carefully reattach your window switch. Once you've done that, put the key in the on position and power the window down or up as needed so you can gain access to both of those mounting bolts. Let's get this out of here. Let's continue on to taking hold of the window, and we'll gently start lifting it up to separate it from the window regulator. With this in the fully upright position, we'll continue on applying some tape all the way around the inside of the window, up and over the door, and then down along the outside. We'll apply several strips of tape because, of course, tape is a lot cheaper than glass. I'm just going to clean the window. Once you have that window taped up, let's make our way down to the window motor. You'll find that you have a green electrical connector down in this center hole. We'll squeeze on the locking tab and pull this out of place. A quick inspection for corrosion. Now that we have this disconnected, we can start dismounting the window regulator from the door itself. For this, you'll find that you have 5 10mm headed mounting bolts. 2 along the top, 2 along the bottom, and 1 in the center. Let's start removing all of them. Now for this last one, as we reach our hands inside the door, you want to be extremely careful for any pinch points and also extremely careful in case the window starts coming down. If it does, get your hands out of there. Remove your window regulator. There it is, friends. Okay, friend, let's get ready for our installation of our window regulator. We'll take this and we'll put it in place inside the door. Swing it up into the proper position here. So sneak it around that window. Start in our mounting bolt along this top corner. We'll get the other top mounting bolt in there as well. And now we can install the other 3. After you have all 5 of your mounting bolts started, snug them up. Now we can secure our wiring harness. We'll press this in. Listen for a click from that and give it a nice tug. Now we can start lowering the window. Hold on to that window so it does not fall. Remove all of the mounting tape here. This out of the way. Now we'll start lowering the window all the way down to the window regulator. Want to do this as controlled as possible. Do not let the window fall. Looking down in this area, you want to make sure that you have the window along the back side of the regulator. The regulator should be along the front here. There we are. Align your mounting bolt holes, start them in, and then you can snug them up. right, they're both started. Now, before we put anything else together, it's always a good idea to test the functionality real quick. We'll reattach the switch. Put the key in the on position, and we'll make the window go up and then back down. Perfect. Remove the key. Disconnect your window switch. You know how to do it. Reinstall your vapor barrier. As for the vapor barrier, you'll find that you have a couple slots. This one is for the wiring to go through. The one that's closest to the edge is for your 2 cables. We'll bring this over and align it with its original mounting position. Press that up against the door, make sure it's secured. Now, before we put the door panel back on here, it's important to pay attention to the door. You'll find that there's several holes that make their way along the sides and along the bottom. That's where all the push tabs would have went into from the door panel. It's important to note because sometimes they will get stuck in the door. You'll have to pull them out of here and put them into the door panel. If you have that issue, go ahead and use a trim tool and pop it out of place. A quick inspection to make sure it is reusable. We'll double check the rest of the holes all the way around here. These look good. Now we can have a look along the back side of the door panel. We'll be looking for all those push clips. Here's the one that was missing, so I'll install that now. Just slide that right into the slot. Double check all the way around. And now we can start putting the door panel on the door. Connect in your wiring harness for your mirror. Listen for a click from that. We'll continue on to our 2 cables. The cable with the ball at the end is for the lower area here. So we'll just slide that right into place. Should fit down and in. We'll swing this over and latch it in. Listen for a click, give it a tug. If it falls right out of there, you're going to want to make sure that's secure. We'll continue on with the next cable here. This will slide directly in, swing it around, and then latch it in, same as before. Double check both of these. Now we'll pay attention to this wiring harness here. This is going to come up and through this door handle area. Now we can take the door panel and we'll start putting it in place. We want to come up nice and high. Paying attention along where the mirror is, we're going to slide this into place. There we are. Make sure that it's completely down all the way across the top. Once you've done so, we're going to align each of our mounting pins with the door and gently press it into place. Double check to make sure it's completely secure. Now we can install our anchor bolt. We'll take this one, go right inside the hole here. Now we can install the smaller bolt in this upper port here. Continue on to the trap door. Pull on the handle. Bring this into place. Latch it in. Let's get this last anchor bolt in here. This one goes right in the center area. Now we can install our window switch. Connect in your electrical connectors. Start with the larger one here. Press it in, listen for a click. Give it a light tug, make sure it is secured. Smaller one. Once again, click, tug. Now we can take this and start putting it in position, being extremely careful for our wiring harness. Press it in until it's completely locked in all the way around. Now we can install this trim piece. You'll find along the bottom area you have a hooked end, and that's going to go into this area. We'll just come in at an angle, swing the hook in, and then press this up against the door panel. Okay friend, now that we got everything back together, you're going to want to make sure you test that window regulator one last time. We'll put the key in the on position and test the window, make sure that it functions properly. Once you've done that, you should also test to make sure that the door functions properly as well. Go ahead and shut it. Use the inside door handle to make sure it opens and closes as needed. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.